Welcome to episode 69 of the Geek podcast. This is Vaughn.
Chris.
And we're back in a timely manner. Holy shit. We're recording audio and video at the same time now, so we don't look like a bunch of fucking noobs about how technology works. Nothing really happened since. Some news, but what have you been playing?
Past 2 days, No Man's Sky. Their
Next update?
Pre-release? Almost?
Original release?
Out of early access? I don't know how to consider it.
Can you consider early access when they charge $60 for it?
Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, their big update, No Man's Sky 2.0. You were saying you were downloading it last night. I'm going to jump back in. It's great. I'm really enjoying it. Mm-hmm. Definitely feels more like what it should have been 2 years ago. Right now, it runs like shit.
Like frame rate bad?
Yeah, like performance is absolute garbage right now. Which is weird considering in the last big update, they had gotten it where it was really smooth. Mm-hmm. Performance was great. Like, that's when I was holding out hope, like, they're gunning for VR on this. And now I'm like, I would throw up. The second I launched into the game, I would throw up just by looking around.
So you can base build anywhere?
Yeah.
Multiplayer?
Multiple bases. I was running around with a buddy
Is it easy?
2 nights ago.
Is it easy to get in the multiplayer?
Yeah. I got into my game first, then he got into his save, and then I sent him an invite to join into mine, and
so traditional,
jumped in. And
not weird Japanese-esque multiplayer like Monster Hunter or any that bullshit.
No, pretty easy.
It's good.
And then we were running around together. The weird thing is that because we're in the same game the way it is, like, if I find, like, he found a glyph for the portals, and he called me over to it, and I couldn't interact with it because he had already interacted with it.
Oh, okay.
So it's like whoever gets there first on something gets it.
Okay.
Which I don't know if that's intentional, because something like the glyphs are hard enough to find as is.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
I know they like revised the story progression and whatnot, so I wonder.
Right. Yeah, they reworked that a little bit. But the base building's cool that you can do it anywhere, so you can set up on multiple planets and systems, and just quickly just teleport to all of them.
That's cool. Wow, I didn't know that.
The planets are very unforgiving now.
Are you guys playing on survival, or are you playing just
normal mode?
Right.
But I mean, there's constant storms that I'm having to sit in my ship during.
Okay.
I'm trying to find, a ideal planet for us to set up a base on right now. I've warped today probably 10 different systems, and they've all been garbage. I mean, abandoned systems where there's been no life on a planet. There's not even been old stuff to go in and try and salvage anything. It's nothing. So, yeah.
That's the risk you take.
It's a risk you take.
Billions of planets.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm glad they're having a second wind with it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hate it when it first came out, but I also know how to put my expectations in perspective.
Right. You're not one to jump on the hype train.
No.
And I was, but I wasn't furious.
Right.
When it came out. And they're not done.
Yeah.
I mean, they said they're starting weekly updates. They're calling it Season 1.
Okay. They're going down that road.
Yeah, they're going down that road, but no microtransactions. Yeah. Free updates for everybody. I mean, they're getting money. It jumped back in the top 10 on Steam this week. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even on sale. So they were still getting the full $60 from people on Steam.
I think it was like $30 at GameStop. You could buy like a PC download for $30.
Really?
Yeah, so they might have...
I wonder if that counts on Steam's tracker as a seller. If you're like activating your Steam key.
Probably.
If Steam counts that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's just through the store. Because that would be the way to do it.
Yeah, because at GameStop, when you would buy codes, either through... Fucking fruit flying here. Steam, Ubisoft, or EA, it would tell you, like, in parentheses, you'd have an S for Steam, or a U for Ubisoft, and E for EA. So that money's going to Valve. So
they're getting their cut on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, they're not done with it. They're going to keep supporting it, and it looks good. I'm happy with it.
I'll check it out. I didn't touch it after I got the platinum on it, so
Still have not gotten the platinum on it.
it was rough.
Isn't one of the trophies leaving the galaxy?
I don't think you don't have to get to the center.
Or it's just it's getting to the center.
You have to jump a certain number of times, but I don't even think you have to get to the center.
Okay.
I don't believe so. It's just
I'm
a lot
at
of
a point in the
resource.
story where it's talking about what I think it's alluding to leaving the galaxy. I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to leave this galaxy because they started on their website a galactic atlas for the Euclid galaxy where people can upload their points of interest and you can search and everything. It's like, but it's not for any of the other galaxies, so I don't want to freaking go there.
Yeah.
Because you can't get back.
That's
Once
right.
you go to one of the other galaxies, you still can't get back. Fuck that.
That game was fun. I enjoyed it. It was cool going from the planet through the atmosphere into space, and then vice versa. It was super cool.
It's a positive feeling knowing Sean Murray didn't kill himself.
Yeah. It's always positive knowing most people don't kill themselves
He just did an interview with The Guardian
unless they deserve it.
about everything. This is his first interview in 2 years. Did you read it?
I did not read it, but he went from clean shaven to a mountain man beard.
He
So
went back to Lumberjack, Sean. He basically was talking about, it was as bad as it could get. And what did he say? They were in constant contact with Scotland Yard from the threats that were coming in. That some were even legitimate and everything. It's like, that's ridiculous.
right, you can be upset, but don't death threats. Like when you get to death threat level, you're taking it way too far.
There's still people that are legitimately upset about this.
Oh,
Still, 2 years later,
they'll never
are
get over it.
legitimately upset about
There's
this.
people that'll never get over it.
I don't know of a company that's ever gone this length to make it right, make their game right.
And succeeded.
Right. Like, Destiny doesn't even count. They're contracted for 10 years with Activision. And that had a turnaround. But, what are you going to do? Just blow your franchise up in the first year? You can't do that. Hello Games had no contract to ever go back and make this right. And they did.
Yeah.
2 years that they've spent working on this afterwards. Probably so they could show their faces again.
Right. Or make games again.
Right. Sean did lie, but other people shouldn't have put him in positions that he was in. Sony basically let him take the bullet on everything. I remember, was it Shuhei? After it released, they came out and said
said
Sean
something.
talked too much. It was, they over-marketed their game and raised expectations higher than they should have been.
I don't think he put the blame on them, but he did say something along those lines that we over-marketed this.
Yeah. Sony should have had more of a hand in it.
Yeah.
And or stop fucking showing it off on stage.
Or tell them exactly what was happening. Like, tell them your plan is to get to this point, not it's going to be there right now.
Yeah. A roadmap.
Right.
Yeah. But
Maybe they didn't even have one at the time.
maybe they didn't know if they'd still be around. Because he said they couldn't delay it because they were out of money.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't know if they would have the money to come in.
Right. Maybe
And-
everything that they said they wanted was planned on being put in there, and
Right.
then all of a sudden it's like, we don't have time for this. And we already promised it, so...
Which makes me wonder, because when he was talking about everything that had happened, this was back probably half a year after it came out, he was talking about the sheer number of people that played the game when it came out. And they did tests of a couple 100,000, and there were millions that were playing the game on the night it came out. That's why you couldn't play it, essentially, the night it came out. And they had to know these numbers were coming in. So what I want to know is if they were essentially broke when the game came out, but millions of copies had been sold. Are developers not getting the money from pre-orders until the game ships?
True question. At what point does that that revenue get the ability to be funneled back into development.
Right. I always assumed that pre-orders helped fund development. That's why they were still doing them in a day and age when supply is not an issue.
No, because pre-orders, you can cancel them. Like, whose money does that come back out of? You can't. If you pre-order a game for $60, you put money down.
You can't funnel it into development that
Right, and then someone chooses
it and it's not there.
Someone chooses like, oh, I don't want to buy this game anymore, and you cancel your pre-order. Where does that $60 come from? Does it come from the company that's offering the pre-order, or does it come from the people making the game? Because if they use that money already, where are you going to get it from?
So then probably Sony takes that money, and then Hello Games' part of it is sitting there. The game ships, and then Sony pushes it to Hello Games.
Right.
And then they're like, oh shit, this is a lot of money. We can develop this game for the next 5 years.
We can start putting
on this money alone.
We can start putting manpower back into this.
But then Sony should have known the numbers.
Yeah, pre-orders are mainly a gauge for interest.
Right. So when they're sitting there doing a stress test of 100,000 people, Sony should have been like, hey, up that.
Right.
Times 10.
Right.
And let Sean have a stroke. But like, I don't know. Wouldn't have fixed the game. But there was still, people flip out about, oh, it's not live. I mean, even the morning that this patch launched at 9 a.m., which he never confirmed was the time that it was going live, 9 a.m., people were going ballistic and returning their copies because the patch wasn't live. It's like,
do it.
Fuck you. And I was on there, I'm like, you're being ridiculous at this point. Because at this point, it's not even up to Sean. He's pushed the patch to Sony and Microsoft, and they have to push it
and
to you.
It's not like he's delivering a USB drive. Like, here's the patch, and he's running to Sony headquarters. Like, put it in the computer.
He's on his bicycle, like, making sure that he can get there.
No, like, it goes through certification. It's got to be tested so it doesn't break everything. And even if it does get past that, there's no way to test millions of people playing it at one time.
Right.
Just like any patch with any game. Like, as much shit as I give Fallout or Skyrim, there's no way to get rid of every single bug. There's no way. Mm-hmm. Unless you release the game early and then bug test it from there. But you just can't do that. You don't have the manpower. So,
especially with the studio the size of Hello Games.
Right.
It's tiny.
It's an indie studio.
Yeah. I mean, they were 11 people when the game launched. So
didn't they have a flood and it kind of ruined their production for a while?
Yeah, that pushed them back like half a year.
Yeah.
God, that would suck. That happened to Pixar with Toy Story 2. Well, not the flood, but
they lost data or something.
Yeah, their server started deleting everything and their backups. Mm-hmm. And by the time they stopped it, it deleted 3/4 of the movie. And the only reason they saved it was because one of the higher ups on the project was on maternity leave and had a copy at home with her to be working on it at home, and she had the only copy left.
It's impressive.
That stresses me out just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But good on Hello Games and No Man's Sky and bringing it out.
I never want to see a developer flounder. Like, any game that doesn't succeed is depressing because people put their time and their money into it. Mm-hmm. They miss their children's birthday parties. They miss life events during crunch time. So it's not as many people out there that shits on a company for putting out a bad game. No one intends to put out a bad game.
Right.
It's not their mission to be like, we're going to put out this shitty fucking game. Unless you're on Steam, and then people do. But on the whole, people want to put out a game that you like.
Right.
And sometimes it just doesn't go through. Okay. I haven't really been playing much of anything. I've been playing more Switch games lately. I picked up Mario Tennis. Played some of that. Finished it. Traded it in. It's not a bad game. If you want a tennis game and you like the Mario games, get that. But be prepared, it's mainly a multiplayer game after you finish the campaign. So,
which I'm assuming would be a short one.
It's pretty challenging. Like, the single player isn't easy. Like, they're asking you to do things that you normally wouldn't encounter. Got Mario Kart again.
Okay.
But yeah, playing. Oh, I picked up Captain Toad as well because I didn't play that on the Wii U, and I wanted a puzzle game. So it looks good. Which I could see them putting Super Mario 3D World on the Switch. I don't know if they would put a major Mario franchise on the same system because they already put Odyssey out. I don't
They
think.
did that right at the beginning of the lifespan, though.
Yeah, I just don't usually see Nintendo putting out another Mario game. I guess they did it with the Wii, Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
And the Switch has kind of become the.
I could see one right at the end.
Yeah. I mean, the Switch has become a thing to put Wii U games on.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, I beat another level in Crash Bandicoot. So that was my success story. One level. I'm taking it easy.
Is it Crash 1 or Crash?
Crash 2.
Crash 2, okay.
I'm in that last tier. Where
Okay.
it's a lot of jetpack stuff.
Okay.
And the one that was pissing me off, you're going through the factory. I can't remember what it's called, but you're going through the factory.
So you're on the top floor.
Yeah, and those people the enemies that they're electric, but then their legs go up. So you have to slide into them when the legs are up. And when the legs are down, you have to jump onto them.
Oh, yeah.
But they transition back and forth. But
The timing
game
is
is
so shitty.
really, really particular about when you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Yep.
pisses me off. That took me a whole night. So, yeah.
You're sticking with it.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I've decided that, if I beat a level, I put it away.
Yeah.
Because
Take it easy.
that's a win.
Mhm.
It's victory for me.
That's fair.
Fuck platformers. I'll be happy to play Spyro.
I'm thinking picking up Spyro. Out of the two, I choose Crash over Spyro. Because Spyro is just a gem collectathon. I know Joey enjoys Spyro more than Crash, but I just like the platformer more.
Mm-hmm. I've never liked platform. I've never been good at platformers. Never stopped me from playing them, but
Yep.
it's just they're brutal, brutal. So fuck it. I'll be happy to be done with it. Crash 3 seems really easy. I dabbled into it a little bit.
Crash 3 is the easiest to jump into, just because they learned everything from 1 and 2 with how to make it so much more smooth for newcomers. So
Yeah.
okay, that's about it, really. Let's jump into some news. Let's see what we got going on here. So we already talked about No Man's Sky. Are you excited for the Destiny 2 DLC that's coming out?
Forsaken.
Yeah,
Um,
because they showed off like 10 new exotics.
I did see that today.
Looks like there's a compound bow.
Yeah, that you can see through the walls to mark your targets, and then
So
as soon as you get around that wall, you can hit them with
We're
it.
going perfect dark style, I see.
The exotics got me pretty excited. They look pretty cool. Stuff that we've never had before. Like the double launching rockets, which they started off with, and I was like, that's sweet, and then like it got better from there. The fact that I think it was the Titan boots that you can slide and reflect back projectiles like rockets back at the enemy.
Oh, so it's like accessories as well,
Yeah,
not just
it-
weapons?
The
I guess
guy
armor.
fucking drop kicked a rocket back at the opponent. That was cool. And then they showed off some things that, like a quick montage at the end of ones that they didn't name, but just showed real quick. And there were a couple that looked familiar. Like
Okay.
they might be returning stuff, like Thorn. I don't know if it was Thorn, but it looked like it
Yeah.
in the background. But that was something that, got me pretty excited about it. I'm excited in general seeing their roadmap and what's coming out. And with the story and where it's going to be dark, and people are banding together. Like it's uniting the fan base with the story, if that makes sense. From the E3 trailer, where Cade dies in the story trailer.
And Nolan North is voicing
Right.
him now. Instead
Right.
of
Nolan North
Nathan
is
Fillion.
voice on. But he's like in it.
I wonder if that's going to play into like the story somehow.
Yeah, because they were saying the first mission is the story trailer, where
Okay.
Cade dies at the end.
Okay.
That's the first mission of Forsaken, getting you into the story. So maybe it's just because he's there, like, just a little.
I wonder if your ghost like takes a hold of his body to hold on to him or something, and that's why his voice is there.
Oh. Weird. Because I know, like, Cade's 6 is 6 because that's the 6th time he's come back. But his ghost is dead. And that's the whole thing with the Guardian. Is you can only be revived because of your ghost. And if your ghost dies, you can't ever come back. Unless they just want him back, even if he's not Guardian.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a little weird. To hear about that, but I don't know. I'm excited. I was jumping back into Destiny, and then the No Man's Sky patch came out. I was like,
yeah, I saw you jumping back and forth between it.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that, but yeah.
It's not video game related, but you see the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 thing that happened?
I wonder if we're going to talk about that.
I mean,
how do you feel about it? Because I've not seen the movies.
He has done a great job with that universe.
Which I've
He
heard.
has really brought those characters to life and put them in a modern age. I don't agree with Disney firing him. Because that's like... Disney needs to reflect on some of their cartoons that they put out back in the day. Because that shit was not good.
Right.
There's some highly stereotypical and racist cartoons put out by
But
Disney.
one argument there is that was in the 30s and 40s.
That is correct.
And this was 10 years ago.
And yes, 10 years ago
Right.
is a long time.
Right.
And it's also, he has also apologized for that in the past. What he said, of course, is not right. But I don't feel like you should damn them 10 years later.
Right. He's already had his moment with this. Dealing with that.
And it's not like those that were hidden. It's some douchebag internet guy bringing it forward. Who, mind you, the guy that brought it forward was accused of rape. So...
The guy who brought it forward is one of those conspiracy theorists.
Exactly.
Who was perpetuating Pizzagate. Which is the most fucked up conspiracy theory, like, that I can conceive, like, at this moment.
Yeah.
That he's peddling, and then he goes out and does this. This is a guy who's a piece of shit on a power trip.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to take people down.
Oh, yeah.
Years later. And Disney...
ate it up.
knee-jerked on this, and it was the wrong choice.
I feel bad that they didn't look at the situation better and stick up for someone that they've worked with for a long time. There was a similar situation with, I think, League of Legends, where one employee said something to someone that was clearly egging her on, and another employee was sticking up for her, didn't even get into the fight, and they were both fired. So we're at a day and age where you're guilty until proven innocent.
Unless you're the president.
Right, and then you can get away with anything.
Right.
I
Which, to me, I look at it as, okay, so he's allowed to sit there running the country, but, like, this guy's not allowed to make a movie because of something he said 10 years ago?
Which
it's a little fucked up.
He admits that he said was wrong and has apologized publicly about it, whereas our president denies it.
Right.
Even when there's clear evidence.
Right.
But
and this isn't even, like, a political thing. It's just, this is a societal thing.
This is where we're at in 2018.
Right.
In terms of being able to pull up stuff in the past and use it against you, which this is a special situation. I'm not saying anything that's happened in the past you should be able to get away with it.
Right.
But in this particular situation, Disney has been working with him for a long time, and then all of a sudden this stuff, which is public and he has apologized about it, has caused him to lose his job.
And Disney started working with him after all that happened.
Yeah.
So Disney knew.
Right.
Because Disney's not going in to a relationship with somebody not knowing this is
Right.
on their record.
It's not like you don't have the resources to investigate someone.
Right. And if anybody's going to know everything about who they're working with, it's Disney.
Right.
So why
Especially
is
with
this
Marvel.
different?
Yeah.
Why now?
It's very disheartening just to see that knee-jerk reaction to firing him when he's done such good with the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes. Do you think they'll correct it?
The dreamist in me is like, yeah, all these actors that are like Dave Bautista and his brother and pretty much everyone that's worked with him are like crying out, like, he's a great guy. Like, this is something that shouldn't have happened. I'm hoping that is enough to like bring him back. But the realist in me is like, do they go back on their decision? Does that make them seem weak?
If they don't, they better not make a third Guardians movie. Because this is all that will be talked about if it comes out, and it's not good.
James Gunn could have done a better job. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, but we also don't know how. I mean, they already have a roadmap with their universe, so to say 3 doesn't come out because of this, I don't think they could really do that unless they shoehorn a reason.
Yeah. If this isn't a route I want to see taken. Because if assholes on the internet can just start popping off things like this,
Yeah,
then we're fucked.
right. I mean, good on people for investigating people that are pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But don't blindly go into that and bring that stuff forward, hoping to get someone fired unless they deserve it.
Well, this was a guy with an agenda.
Oh, yeah. It usually is.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people just stumble upon information and then it just so happens to be something that was attempted to be hidden to gain something, whereas this is something that was blatant. He's a comic. Or it was a comical thing.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I guess it also plays into what is able to be joked about and what isn't.
Mm-hmm. Especially in 2018.
Right.
Especially in 2018. No, Trevor Noah's under fire with things.
I saw
Did you
that.
hear about that?
What specific? I saw the thumbnail. I didn't see specifically. Is it a specific joke?
Well, he used to do a bit, I guess, back in 2013 when he was just solely a stand-up comedian.
Right.
About Aboriginal women from Australia and how, I guess, basically about their looks and how, they're not attractive or something like that, or just basically trashing Aboriginal women from Australia. And somebody was watching his old specials, I guess, and saw that and posted it online, and I think this person happened to be closely attached to that, and made a huge fuss about it, and people took off with it and ran.
Yeah.
And Trevor Noah came back and said, look, I get it. I see where you're coming from. He goes, after that special, I actually was in Australia and went to like a museum about this whole thing and like learned about all this and never did the joke again. He's like, I kind of like self-corrected everything.
Yeah.
Learned more about it, never did the joke again.
Right.
But people were, throwing him under the bus. And
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
you said it. You're fucking dead.
And that's the same thing is, Trevor Noah had a history of there would be some things that he would joke about that people were like, about earlier in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got the job on The Daily Show, replacing Jon Stewart, all this stuff was known information.
Right.
People brought it up as a negative as to why maybe they didn't want Trevor Noah on the show. But it was known information. And this is nothing new. It's the same thing as James Gunn. None of this is new information. And it's being dredged up again. Luckily, Comedy Central didn't jump the gun and try and pull him from the show.
Right.
As far as I've heard.
Yeah, as of right now.
But same thing. In 2018, old shit's getting dredged up.
Right. It's almost like we're in a day and age where someone can't grow or learn from a mistake. Like, you make a mistake and you're damned forever.
That's the thing. That's so huge. You're really never allowed
to make a mistake.
And that's not possible.
No.
Every comedian makes a mistake.
Right. Every comedian's trying to push those boundaries to see how far you can take it. Sometimes it goes well. Sometimes it doesn't. And they usually know. Like, they're predicated on getting the laughs. If you don't laugh, they haven't done their job. And they realize that they learn from it.
And there are comedians that make their career off pushing that envelope.
Right.
And James Gunn used to be that person.
Exactly.
And he admitted it. He's not anymore. Look at Bill Maher. If you see his stuff. I mean, he's been fired multiple times because of his stuff.
Yeah.
I guess after 9/11, he was either fired for a 9/11 joke from ABC or just something he said in relation to it. But, you know, it's amazing that he survives in 2018.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's just sad. Like, I hope we get away from this. I'm not against people sticking up for, like, homophobia or anything along those lines. Like, you deserve the rights. You deserve to be treated equally. Like, all that type of stuff, I'm totally for it. But if someone makes a mistake and they're genuine about it, like, don't fucking crucify them.
Right.
There's livelihoods at stake. Like, he might not ever get a job now.
Yeah.
At least a AAA movie job.
Because you get blacklisted.
Right. Especially in the movie business. Especially after Weinstein.
Right.
And he was physically doing that stuff.
Right. Hollywood is under such a microscope now.
Oh, yeah.
But this is something that Disney could
come out and say, like, yes, we don't agree past, but this was in the past.
Right.
Here is his apology. Have him come out again and say apology. Like, have him do a heartfelt, like, I know I said these things in the past. I don't endorse them anymore. Here's my apology again. Let me make Guardians of the Galaxy 3. You fuckers liked the first two.
Right.
You liked it enough to go see it.
Yeah.
I've seen people on Twitter like, I can't watch those movies the same again. Like,
what?
Really? You're gonna be like that?
I can't listen to Bill Cosby. That's vastly different than being able to, like, watch or not watch Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right, because we know he did that.
Like, right, we know he did that.
Physically doing that
he
stuff. He
was lying about it and covering it up for years and years and years while he was doing this.
Right.
And, like, you know, his whole persona of America's father doesn't really hold up when he's raping people.
Right.
On his off time.
Right, drugging them and then...
Yeah, a comedian who's pushing the envelope and going too far, apologizing about it, and it getting dredged up 10 years later.
Yeah, and not that it has to be something physical happening for it to be validated. But again, this is a comedian saying a joke and it not being or accepted very well. And then 10 years later, having that damn him.
Right. To me, it's not even as bad as Mel Gibson.
What happened with Mel Gibson again?
He's just a racist.
No.
That and anti-Semitic. He's the one that went on, like, the
Passion of the
rant
Christ
about Jews and everything. And he's just generally insane.
Oh, yeah. For sure. But it's... I hope that he gets the job back. I don't know how Disney does it without getting shit. They make so much money, though. I don't think it would really affect them, but...
They're in a rock and a hard place. Either way is the wrong answer for them right now.
Right. Do you bring him back, have him make the movie, and... I mean, it would be better off bringing him back and having him make the movie and make all that money.
Yeah.
Because he makes good Guardian movies.
Don't fuck with the fans right now.
Right. Like, they're supplying you your salary.
Yes. Don't fuck with the fans.
Now, someone could come and make a just as good Guardians movie, but do you really risk it?
Exactly. Speaking about Gibson, he's making a sequel to The Passion. Did you know that?
Jesus, too. I heard rumblings like when that movie first came out about him.
Yeah, he was just talking about last year or something. Like, he's actually...
What's the sequel to that?
The Resurrection.
I didn't see The Passion, so I don't know how far that movie went in terms of story.
It went plot. To, I mean, spoiler alert, he dies up on the cross. Shocker, he dies. But it ends with they had put him in the grave, and it ends with at the end of the 3 days, he's back up and he's exiting the grave. So the sequel, as Mel was putting it, would be the 3 days that Jesus was dead and his trip down to hell in those 3 days.
You call it Dante's Inferno type thing. That'd be sweet.
I don't even know the story enough to know what happened down there. But,
neither do I. But it's all fiction anyway, so.
Right. Oh, yeah. But, and especially if Mel Gibson's fucking making it. But
as long as Jesus getting the shit whipped out of him the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, Passion was a great movie. It was a fantastic achievement in cinematography.
I mean, torture porn, I guess. I don't know.
It was just, in terms of,
depicting
in terms of, keeping true to the story, book to movie was a very good relationship there. I mean, it was accurate. It was brutal.
Perfect director for it.
They resurrected a dead language to do it. And the guy who played Jesus got struck by lightning like 11 times while he was up on that cross.
And his initials are JC as well, so he's the perfect...
Yeah. And he never worked again after that. I didn't realize that. I guess playing Jesus is like a death sentence in Hollywood.
Give it 3 decades and you can come back.
Yeah. Nobody knows how to say his last name anyways.
No.
But yeah. So the one that I was looking at was Fallout 76's beta is going to be in October.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I am okay with that, even though it's super close to release. I'm a little more upset that you have to pre-order it to get into it.
Sorry, it's not an open beta, is it?
Nope.
Closed beta.
Yep. It's a wave-based closed beta. So, and the wording makes it seem like you might not even get into it for sure.
Really?
Pre-order it and enter the code for your chance to be in the beta.
For your chance to be in the beta?
I think that was the wording.
Damn. Let me pull this up just to make sure.
If it isn't bad enough that you have to pre-order a game to see if you like the game, you might not even get into it. That could be just wording, and if you put it in there, you'll get it, maybe not the first wave, but the next wave after that.
Wait, edit to clarify, everyone who pre-orders at a participating retailer will be included in the beta.
Okay, is that an update to the story?
Yes.
Okay.
So at least that.
Okay, you're guaranteed.
But it is still a closed beta.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll start small and grow over time. But it being, and we've seen this before with games that do a beta, being so close to release, does it even matter?
I mean, I think any data for an online beta is positive.
If nothing else, for long-term data?
Right. At least it shows interest. It's Fallout, so they know it's going to be big. It would have been nice to have it come out earlier, maybe like August, so it's not broken. Bethesda.
I mean, at this point, if the beta's in October, the game's gold by that point. The game has gone gold.
Right.
By the time the beta goes. So it's locked.
The shitty thing about betas nowadays, betas are demos. They're not really seen as a testing bed for a game. It's mainly like we're throwing you a bone because it's either going to work or it's not. So
if nothing else, they should call this a stress test. I think that's essentially what it is.
Right, it's in the name. It's like break it something something something. I think that's like the pun.
Break it early testing something.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just weird that they're putting it out so close to the release date.
Yeah.
Especially in a wave-based form.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good way to stress test it. Like, slowly introduce more people to see how much your servers can take. But...
And it still won't be enough.
No. It's going to be weird. Like, it's going to be broken. Like, I said it when they first announced that it was an online game. Like, if you can't create a single-player game riddled with bugs, fucking an online game there's no way. At least at launch.
Mm-hmm.
So, positive vibes that game is super smooth and the online is seamless when you first play it. It's not going to be. But I really hope so. But Bethesda's ballsy enough to be like, oh, we tried. We'll fix it, though. So, unlike Disney.
And there's an expectation with these games going into it that you know how it's going to be.
Right, and they also have the thing to fall back on where they've never done this before. So it's like...
Mm-hmm. It's new to them.
This is new to us, so sorry.
And they have a history of not abandoning their projects.
Right, the Fallout 4 had stuff coming out for it up until like last year, I think.
Right.
So it's not like they're gonna put it out and leave it to die.
Right.
At least as far as their history is shown.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. It's good that they're putting out a beta for this at least. They could have just been like, it's coming out. Good luck. So
have fun.
Spider-Man's getting a PS4 system bundle.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool looking. Until I realize it's glossy.
Oh, is it?
It's not matte finish. It is a glossy system.
That's weird.
And I'm always apprehensive about white thumbsticks because people are gross.
Yeah.
I don't work at GameStop anymore, so I won't see that shit coming in and being like, oh, I gotta scrape your human scum out of this.
Yeah, and it still won't come out.
Right.
I don't like the controller.
You don't like the red and white?
No. It looks cheap compared to the system.
Okay.
And I don't know if it was the photo that I looked, but it looked cheap how it was done.
That's fair. They've already put out like a good red controller anyway.
Right, and that's the thing. Just leave it. The red, white,
And the blue
black
white.
accents, like black thumbsticks. Maybe we could change. I don't know, but I wish they would theme their controllers a little more. Like that's something that Xbox does. That's pretty cool. Like they do actual designs on the plastic.
Yeah, they've done like a Call of Duty one, PS4. They've done a God of War one, which was themed a little bit. But more often than not, it's just like a different plastic color.
Yeah, like on the controller, the suit would be really cool on it. Like the webbing.
They did, yeah, that would have been cool. Or like the touchpad would have been like webbing. That would have been sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the symbols web themed, like the curly cues around it or something.
Yeah.
I wonder if they try to stay away from like a red, white, and blue.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe make the buttons and the thumbstick blue or something. Make the touchpad white. That would have been sweet. They've never changed the touchpad color. It's always been black. I don't see why not.
I wonder if it's actual like technology all the way through that they can't really color.
I don't see why they couldn't change the plastic color though. They could still have the mechanics behind it. I don't see why. Maybe.
I mean, we don't know what the top layer is though.
I wonder if the black coating keeps.
Because it's not just a push
stuff.
button. I mean, you can swipe your finger and it picks it up.
Yeah.
So.
That'd be interesting to look into. Yeah. Yeah, they've always been lacking in the controller aspect. The Darth Vader PS4 controller, which I have, is pretty cool because it's got Star Wars written on the touchpad and stuff. And
right. And that one was black, red, and white, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was neat.
Yeah, it was based on his chest plate thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're looking to buy a Pro and you're not anticipating the next PS5 to come out, this would be good. I do have more than one PS4 in the house, and one is a collector's edition, so I can't really say not to buy this if you already have a PS4. But especially this at this point in the life cycle, I couldn't see myself buying a new system.
No.
With the 2021 time frame of a new system coming out, and I'm an early adopter, so I will buy it. I cannot buy another PS4 and then buy another system. I would rather have the money that would go towards this system, towards games that I will most likely be able to play on the PS5.
That's fair.
Along with the new system.
Mm-hmm.
So,
100%.
I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so the second I saw that, I'm like, God damn it. And then I saw it was glossy, and then I started my rationalization of, I don't need this, a new system is coming. So, It's cool, though. Like, if you want the game, you want to pay the same price of regular PS4 Pro is, it's $399. Physical game inside, if you're one of those people that can't have a digital game.
Right.
Go for it. It's cool looking.
Yeah.
And that game is going to explode.
You think so?
Oh yeah, that is a God of War-esque type of word of mouth game. I think people that don't play video games will buy a Spider-Man game.
Okay. And it's set up at a good time. Come out in September, and the first wave will be really big. And then that word of mouth, by the time the holiday comes around, it'll see that second wind.
Right before the onslaught of releases. Like, if you don't play video games, you know what Call of Duty is. So if you're looking to buy a system and you like Spider-Man, you'll probably buy this and then be ready for Battlefield, Fallout,
Right.
Call of Duty, all that fun stuff. So let's see what else happened. So much Fortnite stuff.
All the time.
No one cares. Let's see. Did we talk about the Nathan Drake, Uncharted, Nathan Fillion fan film? I know we posted something on the website about it.
I think we did.
Didn't we?
Yeah, we started off with it.
I think we started off. We mainly did E3. That's cool. Go watch the Nathan Fillion Uncharted fan film.
It's really good.
Person that
Swear we
directed
talked
that,
about it.
make a full movie.
Oh, make a full movie?
Make a full movie. The guy that made that, make a full movie.
Yeah, because I think I remember talking about that's probably their version of the Deadpool test video that the fans got to see and then clamored for a full Deadpool movie. So this, I mean, you see this and you go, make a movie.
Right, you can do it. Like,
Right.
that concept, that sounded like an Uncharted plot.
Mm-hmm. And I was not on board for an Uncharted movie.
No.
I'm not on board for a Naughty Dog movie of any kind until I saw that.
Right.
Because
That
you've
can
got
be done.
people that making it that are passionate about it.
Right.
I mean, Nathan Fillion's been on this for years.
Yeah, and he looks like him. He can... The self-deprecating humor.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
The first 2 minutes that he was talking, all I did hear was Cade. But that's because I didn't know Nathan from anything else
Yeah.
besides that. But then he started getting into it, and I was just like, you're Nathan.
Right.
Like, oh my god.
Like, you're a little older, but he was aging at 4, so...
Right. And they set the timeline up for him to be
Right.
older Nathan.
Yeah, they talked
that
about
was
his
fantastic. All his previous stuff.
first 3 adventures, yeah.
It was good. And they did the video game shot
That
right.
was cool.
Not like Doom with The Rock.
That was cool if they didn't do it for so long.
Right.
Like, it was like 10 minutes of that. I'm like,
Remember Max
Jesus
Payne?
Christ. That movie was just... like, I can't even give that movie any compliments.
And I loved those games. And I
Mark
was so
Wahlberg?
excited.
Why Mark Wahlberg?
Well, he did look like him.
I guess so, but you
And-
could pick any New York guy with a leather jacket.
I was
have you seen
so excited for that movie.
Max Payne 1, like the comic book style
Yeah.
cutscenes and the in-game model? Jesus Christ. Like, you could have picked any Joe Schmo off the street and been like, you want to do a Max Payne movie? Yeah? Okay, cool. You look the part. Any clean-shaven Italian guy.
Yeah.
Marky Mark. Like, who the fuck picks that guy for that? Like, speaking
Not
of...
a fan of Mark Wahlberg.
I'm okay with Mark. I don't
Just
have
not for
anything
that.
against Mark Wahlberg, but it's just like, why him for that movie? There could have been so many. I guess he was hot at the time. I
He's
don't know.
the rising star, I think.
Now he's doing Transformer movies. Like, how far have you fallen?
He's doing Ted.
I mean, those movies
They're
did
great
well,
movies.
though.
Great movies.
Speaking of Max Payne and Remedy in that, I'm super
Wait,
excited.
was Max Payne Remedy?
I think the first two were. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Look it up.
That explains a lot. I'll look it up.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
because
because
question.
they're doing that new game Control.
Right.
I'm super excited for that game.
Yes, that looks really cool. That was a cool reveal.
Yeah.
That is like, oh, that holy shit.
They've released some like development videos and stuff, and just the way they're describing it, like it's almost like a Metroidvania type building that you're in, and then the more things that you find out and learn about her past, the more that building opens up, and it's almost like a fun house where it's alive. Like Jesus Christ, that breathing gun, the powers that she has.
Max Payne 1 and 2 was Remedy, and 3 was Rockstar.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That explains a lot.
Yeah.
I did love those games.
Yeah, they're classics.
Those were eye-opening for a young kid to be playing.
Oh yeah, drug abuse and murder
Like,
and
very deep, heavy shit. They didn't have a game between Max Payne 2 in 2003 and Alan Wake in 2010.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Last thing they did was Quantum Break.
Yeah.
I believe. And they're not owned by anyone, so they're an Insomniac type of thing.
Yeah, on their own. Ah,
I wonder
they're
if
from Finland.
yeah, they have some heavy accents. I wonder if the Microsoft purchasing studios kind of lights a fire into Sony to buy more studios.
I don't know. Sony's already got theirs locked down.
They have a lot, but I mean, why wouldn't they buy more? They're on the top right now.
They're on the top,
It's
but
not like they don't have money to do so.
they've got a good stream going.
Yeah. But
So, I mean,
I could see them
Sony's
buying
got-
more to keep that constant exclusive train running, so it never feels low at a lull.
Yeah.
I guess I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if this lit a fire under them to buy more. They don't need to, but I could see it being like, okay, they're making moves, we need to make moves. Even though they already had way more first party than Microsoft, but...
I mean, Sony's got Bend. What is Bend making?
Days Gone.
Days Gone. ForwardWorks aim to deploy new services towards the ever-expanding smart device market. Yeah,
So
okay.
nothing.
That's within the last 2 years. Foster City Studio, responsible for overseeing the development of first-party games by external developers. So they're just like a liaison? Because last thing they did was Helldivers. But they did Infamous 3. Oh, they co-develop. Okay, so they're a co-developer. Guerrilla, which, I mean, is a big heavy hitter for them.
They're expanding so they can have more stuff coming out.
Japan Studio.
They dabble in everything, yeah.
London Studio.
Yeah, they do. They're doing that. I think they're doing like that VR heist shooter game.
Yes. PlayStation VR Worlds.
And then they're blowing that heist out into its own.
Blood and Truth.
That's it. Yep.
Media Molecule.
Dreams.
Which one day we'll get Dreams.
That Dreams is getting crazy, like hype and positive word of mouth.
Right.
They remade Demon Souls in an hour. Like a room in Demon Souls in an hour.
This game is fucking insane.
Dreamin' Souls, that's what they
hard
called
to
it.
comprehend. Like,
Yeah.
it's just unbelievable. Naughty Dog, Manchester Studio. Games for PlayStation VR.
Okay.
Pixel Opus. They're the ones doing Concrete Genie. That'll be cool. Polyphony Digital. That's Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
San Diego Studio. That's
God of
MLB The
War
Show.
and everything.
That's Santa Monica.
Oh. I know Santa Monica, I think, helps them too.
But San Diego is mainly the show.
And that does well.
That does do well. They did Starblood Arena.
Okay. That didn't do so well.
No. That was a Plus game for a couple months. San Mateo Studio, which no description, but that's within the past 2 years. Santa Monica's God of War. Sucker Punch. 989.
Oh wow, it's an old one.
That is an old one. Is that still active? No, defunct.
Okay.
The rest of them are defunct. Big studios. Gorilla Cambridge, Contrail, Evolution, which was Drive Club. Incognito, Studio
Evolution.
Liverpool, and Zipper. Those are all defunct. I mean, they've got a good
Poor Cambridge. They
portfolio.
Killzone on the Vita, and that game is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I could see them buying up one or two, but I don't think they'll make a big push like Microsoft did. And I don't see them publicizing it as much. Because I don't know. I just don't think they need to.
Yeah, I don't think they would publicize it, but I feel like the studios would make a blog post or something like, we like to announce that we are now part of the Sony Worldwide Studios, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. It would be just blog post.
Yeah.
Something small. Not an E3 thing.
I don't think Insomniac's going to get purchased. It'd be like a Ninja Theory style thing if they bought Remedy. That'd be insane. I don't see it happening, but you don't see a lot of AAA studios out there anymore that aren't already owned. I think Insomniac, Remedy are really the only ones that I can think of that make AAA games that aren't owned by like Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo.
You know, you could always be like a one.
Retro, I guess, is one.
Yeah.
They mainly do Nintendo stuff, but
Could
they're
be a
not
couple
owned.
studios that are just like one big game away from being the next one. I mean, I felt like Horizon put Guerrilla on a whole new playing field from where they were.
Right, yeah.
Even though they had good games like Resistance, which did okay.
They've only done Killzone.
Yeah, Killzone, not Resistance. But Killzone, which was okay.
It's a good series.
But you weren't exactly blowing the doors off of anything.
Right, even Killzone
Shadowfall
was a good game, and it was a good differentiator between the drab PS2 and PS3 Killzones.
Right.
It was like, at the time, the Halo killer, as they would say, or Sony's equivalent of Halo.
But it wasn't.
But nothing ever was.
Right.
Sony's not the multiplayer behemoth that Xbox had.
Right.
And then Horizon came out, and then their budget probably like tripled, quadrupled. Like,
right.
You can make any type of game that you want.
Yeah.
Go for it.
The world is yours.
And
They've probably got run like Naughty Dog.
Right.
In some respects.
And it proved, that proved to Sony, they're at a new studio now. I mean, they're at a new location now. They've hired a bunch of new people. They're splitting off into two different like groups now, so they can make more games. So,
and all it took was one game.
Right, a game completely different than what they've ever made.
Right,
like they were the Killzone studio.
Right,
like that's what they were brought together for, and then they make Horizon, which
and theoretically, Days Gone could take bend from being the port studio, to one of the big hitters. We'll see. But,
I mean, I'm excited for Days Gone. They just need to tell me more about what I'm fucking doing in that game. I've been running and riding a motorcycle.
Killing zombies.
And even then...
But it's not Last of Us.
Right. And even then, they've only really shown off that initial release with that big horde. They haven't really shown off too much more.
Right.
Other than being able to lure them to killing your enemies and then encountering a giant zombie bear.
Right.
So... I don't know. Are you getting that Pokemon game for the Switch?
Yes.
The Let's Go. Are you getting Eevee or Pikachu?
Pikachu.
Okay. I had a lot of people be like, "Of course I'm getting Eevee." I'm like, "Why would you get Eevee?"
Why does that sentence start with "of course" and then end with Eevee?
Right.
Like what?
I said no one ever. You can't evolve that Eevee either.
You can't evolve what?
You can't evolve that Eevee that you get at the beginning.
Right.
Like that Eevee is Eevee until it dies.
Just like Pikachu.
Right, you can't evolve the Pikachu into Raichu. You can find another one and evolve those, but the ones that you get you're stuck with. But I bring this Pokemon game up because they're kind of changing how the gym encounters are.
Okay.
So in past Pokemon games, there was that guy at the front just telling you like about this gym. Now you have to meet certain requirements to face the gym leader.
Really?
Yes. And I'm a noob because I didn't have the story pulled up to segue right into that. But I will get it here shortly. Please don't stop loving me. Oh, God damn it.
This is where editing comes into play.
Nope. We're doing it live. Doing it live. Son of a bitch. So, what do you think of that type of thing?
I guess it depends on how they do it. Like, in terms of, like, changing it?
Yeah, like that type of changing the prescribed formula of the original games.
I guess I don't mind them making changes and updating things.
Mm-hmm.
But it depends on how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it fundamentally changes, how the game is played. I feel like it's something they could really fuck up.
So I will openly admit that I probably talked to those entry level people in those gyms one time and then realized that they didn't say anything. So I'd never talk to any of them again every
Right.
Pokemon game that I played. They apparently, in the past, just talked about like the best type of Pokemon to use for this particular gym.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you are required to show them that you have a particular type. For example, Brock's gym. There's a screenshot showing the greeter asking to show him either a grass or water type Pokemon before you can even attempt this gym.
Fuck that. Fuck that. If I am notorious for always going into Brock's gym with Pidgey.
Make note.
And if I want to go into Brock's gym with Pidgey, let me go into Brock's gym with Pidgey and get my ass kicked.
Make note. Before I told him the actual news, he was all for it. Like, change is good.
I was cautiously optimistic.
Change is okay. As long as it's okay, as long as it doesn't change that much, whatever. And then all of a sudden, it's
This is that bullshit hand-holding that I'm talking about. Stop telling me how to play the game. Let me go in with Weedle. Which is a poison type, not a grass type. Highly ineffective against Onyx. Let me do it.
highly.
Let me go in with fucking Metapod. And just get hard the whole fucking battle.
I'm with you.
This is bullshit hand-holding.
I don't like being told specifically how to play a game. But let me be devil's advocate here. Let's say someone does do that, and they keep getting their butt kicked over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that never played Pokemon, because any Pokemon trainer would know you can just level them up and then eventually beat them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Someone keeps getting their ass kicked, and they give up, and then it's 2018. Shit talk this game like crazy. Would you rather have them do that or do what they're doing here?
Here's a compromise. The very first time you walk into every gym,
Mm-hmm.
the guy stops you to say, "Welcome to the gym of this type.
Right. This is
what this type is."
rock-type gym.
Rock type gym. Which that tells you, I need this.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they did in the past, where he
But
was just mainly
you never
telling-
talk to them, so you might not know until
Right.
you get there.
Right.
And see the people that you're like, oh shit, that's what I'm facing here. So they won't let you in the gym unless you can show them that you have that.
This is also pulled from a Japanese stream of this, so I don't know if it completely forbids you from entering any farther beyond that. I do not know. I don't think any of us know quite yet.
This is why these kids today can't accomplish anything on their own. Pokemon was like taught you how to survive in life. What's that fucking building that's got all the Team Rocket base, where it's all about the slide or
Is it
they're
teleporters
mazes.
or the
Mazes.
like the invisible maze?
Yeah, the invisible mazes and everything like that. But are they going to get rid of that? Because kids today won't be able to figure that out at all on their own.
I don't know.
That was hours growing up trying to figure that out for the first time. Because there wasn't anywhere to go to Google and be like, how the fuck do I beat this maze?
I could kind of see the ground and where it was at. There were like dashes where the walls
There were dashes, but like, are they going to stop you from going down a route because you're not leveled up enough? You need to go back and grind it out a little more before you can go there. And are you going to stop me from going into a cave because you don't have flash? You can't go into this cave. It's too dark and scary. No, let me get lost.
I think you're spiraling.
What do you mean I'm spiraling?
You're spiraling down this.
Well, this is what they've done.
No, I agree. Like, I don't like the hand-holdy nature that... I think games were going down a hand-holdy nature for a while there, and then they've... Once Dark Souls came out, then that started to really pull developers away from just pulling you through a game.
And you know this has been my number one complaint with Pokemon. Is they gotten to the point where they're hand-holding you so much that it's ruined the game for returning players.
Yeah. Would you like them to have that, or let's say this is a requirement that you need to either have those type of Pokemon, at least one in your party, or if you meet a certain level requirement, at least one Pokemon meets like a certain level requirement, like an average for this gym.
Neither.
Okay. So you're completely opposed to any sort of
restriction on it.
Okay.
I mean, that's part of the learning process of the game. That's part of the game process. Hell, part of it is even if you're going in and you're under-leveled and you're able to get through part of it, part of the boss, you're still leveling your Pokemon up. And every time you go in, you still have a little bit more of a chance. And you're learning the different ways of how to beat it. Like going through the Elite Four for the first time, that's part of... I mean, you're learning how to beat each of these people and knowing how you have to set up your team.
Yeah.
They're just going to make it very easy.
I think it's just, at least for us, it'll be a speed bump in terms of accessibility, because you need a grass or a water type, go catch one real quick and then fucking show it to him and then release it or put it in the PC and then do what you need to do. I don't think it's going to be a constant check, or at least I hope it's not a constant check.
Hope so.
But
it's the equivalent of installing a people mover onto a mountain.
Okay. I see where you're coming from with it. Like,
That got me a lot more riled up than I thought it was.
I went like from a 4 to a 10. Yeah, as someone who is jumping into a Pokemon game, having sworn off Pokemon for a long time.
Since Gen 2. 3.
3, yep. Ruby. I think I'm open to any type of change. Because the reason why I stopped was it's the same over and over again.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Bloodborne 2. Let's say Bloodborne 2
Okay,
comes
you're going
out.
right for the jugular. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Let's say Bloodborne 2 comes out. And you're going up to a room where there's a boss. And there's a guy at the door. He goes, stop. This boss has these moves. And this move set. And this is how he's going to fight you. Do you have this, this, and this to beat him? No? Turn around.
Okay, so with that, yes, I would agree that would be way outside of the Souls-born formula to do.
Because part of that formula is learning how to beat the bosses, right? It's going in, getting your ass kicked, and adapting.
Yeah.
How is it any different? Pokemon was our Bloodborne.
That's a hell of a comparison to make.
I know. It's a stretch, but still.
No, I see where you're coming from.
It'd be even more akin to Zelda if they stopped you before the end of each temple and said, you need this. Do you have this? Which they did. You know, you can't go into, like, the Fire Temple without this cloak. But that was just, you know, that thing. But, like, you specifically need, like, this thing.
A certain number of bombs or something.
Right. A certain number of bombs.
I guess my only argument really is the Pokemon games, at least nowadays, are tailored more towards a younger crowd.
And stop making it more accessible for them.
That's a Nintendo thing, though.
That's anything.
It's
That's
not,
anything.
it's not an excuse for
And Crash
anything,
Bandicoot's the example that Crash Bandicoot today wouldn't work for these kids because they would never get through it.
When the trilogy came out recently or last year, reviewers are like, "This is the Dark Souls. This is a Dark Souls type of game, like difficulty."
And it was us that were buying it, not the newer kids.
Yeah,
because they can't handle that kind of game. They can't make it through. They don't have the patience for it.
Yeah.
Stop making Pokemon that.
At least give it the option to turn that off.
My point, every time I bring this up, ask me at the beginning, what is your experience with Pokemon?
Are you a newcomer or
right
a veteran?
Right.
And then turn that specific type of stuff off. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Instead, this is one more thing to hold your hand along the way. There's not even wild battles anymore. All it is just see a Pokemon, catch it, or run. So this accessibility point is good because the integration with Go. But still,
I don't even play Go. Like that is lost on me too. So
right, but like I get why they're doing that because of the integration with Go.
Yeah.
But they're just, oh my god.
I am okay with the streamlining of this Pokemon game because that might be something that I enjoy. Like I don't have to go through that fucking rigmarole of battling and stuff. Even though that's kind of like that is the draw of Pokemon, like building your Pokemon up, picking what moves you want, what behind the scenes EV training that you want to do. Like that's the number crunching. People that like those games probably won't like this game. You can't do that stuff. But for someone like me that has sworn off Pokemon, like I said, just because it's the same stale RPG nature, the basic RPG nature of Pokemon, this might be a good thing for me. Not because I want an easy game, because I play the shit out of hard games, but for Pokemon, I kind of just I've been there. I've been through most of the Pokemon series, so I kind of want to just go through it.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying having to show a certain type of Pokemon in every gym is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm in the same vein as you, maybe not to the same extent of excitement. But I do understand where you're coming from, where this is just another one of those Nintendo things that they're doing to get the kids able to play this game.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be some stuff for veterans in there, but it's tailoring more towards the kids that are playing Go.
Right.
I'm going to carry that Pokeball with me to work. I don't care. I look like a fucking doofus. I don't care. My Mew's going to be in that Pokeball.
You go for it.
I will flip my shit if the Mew that I get in that Pokeball I cannot use right away. If I have to beat the Elite Four before I can use that Mew, I will burn this house down, this apartment down.
Probably. I cannot imagine them giving you Mew right away.
Give me a level 5 Mew from the get-go.
Mew was an endgame Pokemon.
Mew, you would normally catch it like between 5 and 7, like a level 5 or 7 in the original games.
But you could only get to it after. Right?
Technically, you couldn't get to Mew at all. Like, Mew isn't like an event-only Pokemon at first.
Right.
And then it was only until recently that they were putting it on those like promo cards that you get at GameStop, and then you could scratch it off and get it, and it was like level 50 or 70 or something like that. But by the time that they were releasing those cards, the game had been out for a while. So like you were going to be endgame anyway. Mm-hmm. But you're offering this Pokemon with a launch of the game. Let me use it. Not most games, but a lot of games that have pre-order bonuses for stuff that's usually end-game content, you have to beat the game before you can use it. I think Ubisoft did that a lot. Other companies I can't think of off the top of my head did that, but please, for the love of God, let me use that from the get-go. It's a psychic type. Like,
right.
There are Abras that you can catch at that level, so please. I'll forgive everything. Just let me use that Mew.
Yeah.
I've got...
Oh, God. Okay.
I'll let you cool off there.
Yeah.
Talk about
we're
Destiny
good.
or Bethesda or something.
I can't wait till the podcast after Fallout 76 comes out. And if it's broke to hell and back.
I wish I could say I was going to buy that so I could play it and give like a...
You're not even going to buy it?
Can you really see the sentence of my name and the word buying and Fallout in it?
Yeah. It's new.
Vaughn is never buying Fallout. That's the only sentence. I want to play it. I don't know if I want to spend $60 for it. But I want to see how they do an online Fallout game. I don't know if I'll buy it at launch. I'll be interested to see your take on it because you are the resident Fallout Skyrim
I
guy.
guess
Bethesda RPG. I guess I can say.
Yeah, Todd Howard's my man.
I gained a lot of respect for him. Not a lot, but more respect than I had previous when he said that Skyrim statement of, if you don't buy it, we won't release it on everything. You're a savage son of a bitch, and I love you. Is there any more news that really happened that's of note?
This makes it sound like you'll start your game with Mew.
Oh my fucking God, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, baby Jesus.
You won't be able to transfer Mew from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Let's Go.
Okay, that's fair.
I guess that makes sense.
Because it'll be super high level and whatever. That's fair. I don't even know how the Pokemon Go to Let's Go is going to work.
I don't even know if they've talked about it. Because
they talked about being able to some sort of transfer, but I don't know how it's going to go from Go to Let's Go, because if you're just going to bring these super powered Pokemon over, I don't think they level the same. I think it's like CP based in Go or something.
Yeah, they better not be going that route in this Pokemon.
I think Let's Go is traditional levels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's traditional levels, because
so you must be...
Each Pokemon gains XP. Every Pokemon in your party gains XP when you either fight or catch a Pokemon.
Yeah, so they've got to be transitioning your stats from Pokemon Go have an algorithm to transition them in.
CP, like a certain number of CP equal a level or something.
Yeah.
You know what would be super shitty? If it's a one-time transfer.
You can't go back and forth.
Right.
That
Unless it's an algorithm, like you said, that, let's say, 5 levels of CP
I wonder if it's
is one level. And if you level them up in Let's Go, and you bring them to
maybe
Go.
it's a copy system. That you're just copying them into your Let's Go game. And you can still keep them in Go.
That's true. They could, yeah. You would keep it in Go, and then a version is in Let's Go.
Mm-hmm.
And they just take, like, an algorithm of your CP.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, your Pokemon would be level 30 in the game.
To me, that would make the most sense.
But I wonder what the transfer in reverse is, because they said that you could take your Pokemon into Let's Go with you around. They need to talk more about that, because that game comes out in November.
Yeah, they're getting close.
We got like 10 minutes left, so I guess
The upcoming
that's it
shit.
for news. Yeah, let's talk about what's coming out in August that we might get. There's 2 games that are downloadable that are coming out in August that I'm interested in. Of course, they're both Souls based. So one is Dead Cells.
Okay.
Another one is Death's Gambit. So Death's Gambit's more of a traditional like 2D Dark Souls. Death's Gambit is taking some of that and making more of a roguelike.
Mm-hmm.
So Death's Gambit comes out first.
No, Dead Cells comes out first.
Isn't Dead Cells like the 24th?
The 7th. Dead Cells is the 7th.
Shit. And Death's Gambit's the 14th? Week after?
Yes.
I think I'm going to wait on Cells, just because that one's like $20-$25.
Okay.
Death's Gambit is $16 if I pre-order right now.
Okay.
I really like Salt and Sanctuary, which was a Dark Souls 2D, and Gambit looks like that, so I think I'm going to stick with that at first. I don't think there's any really big AAA games coming out in August.
Well, on the 3rd, WarioWare Gold comes out for 3DS.
Just gonna shit in my mouth, I see. Just insult me.
Uh,
I mean, those games are popular. They're weird, but they're popular.
Overcooked 2, same
Okay.
day as Dead Cells.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure why there's an Overcooked 2 from what I've seen. I don't know if I've seen enough to justify a
Oh, in terms of why they made a second one?
rather than just
I think they've
additional
added a bunch
content.
I think they've added a bunch of like different cooking mechanics and stuff and whatnot.
Oh, they've also added multiplayer.
Okay.
So, there's a big thing.
I
Overcooked.
just recently bought the first Overcooked on the Switch.
It's hard as fuck.
Especially with
And-
2 people.
Yeah, my wife and I. Ooh, she's brutal. I get
If we
yelled at a
get
lot.
2 stars, I'm happy. There's no way you can get 3 stars with 2 people.
No. And she's like, we gotta get 3 stars. I'm like, fuck no, we don't.
You need to settle down.
Like, there's moments where I'm sitting there and I'm screaming, stop yelling at me. I'm doing my best. Stop yelling at
Slapping
me.
these mice as fast as I can.
Yes. Like,
The slap noise is probably the best slap noise. Outside of like a Indiana Jones, Star Wars like punch.
GoldenEye. Slappers only.
I don't like the noise. That was a pretty good noise. I was impressed myself.
Well done.
Anything else in August?
And the 9th, Layton's Mystery Journey DX comes out for Switch. Which,
It's a puzzle game.
yeah, puzzle game. Not a re-release.
I played some of those on the DS.
Monster Hunter World on PC.
Okay, $60, which is interesting.
And it's more of a port.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
It's not even a Game of the Year edition type thing. I guess they really haven't released actual content for it to be Game of the Year. It's mainly just events that go on, and you can't really release that as a downloadable thing. So I can see why it's 60, but I can see why PC people are like, why is that $60?
Switch is getting Okami HD.
Okay.
and PS4 is getting Yakuza 3.
Okay.
All on the 9th. The 10th, Madden 19.
Are you about that?
Oh, yeah.
Not being at GameStop, I don't know the big sport releases anymore.
Yeah, that one, I mean, me and my buddies do a league every year. So we'll play it, we'll get pissed off, and I'll hate Madden for 6 months out of the year. And
Do we know if this one's bringing back that career mode that they did with the last one, or are they doing...
They are continuing it.
That's cool. Good
Yeah,
for them.
so
At
it
least
is
popular
Long Shot
enough.
Part 2.
That's right.
It's also the first Madden on PC in a decade.
Oh, yeah, that's
They're
right.
bringing it back to PC.
Totally forgot about that, considering EA's E3 conference was dog shit. At
Right.
least in terms of Madden.
Well, they didn't talk about Madden at all, really.
Yeah, they just brought that kid out with the belt. I think that was Madden.
Oh, fuck, that was Madden. That's why I blocked Madden
They
from my
showed the
head.
cover athlete. I think that
And they
was
brought out the Steelers player.
right.
Fuck that.
But I don't think they talked a lot about it. It's kind of like this kid is a tournament player and it's on PC. Bye.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So yeah, that was bullshit. And then We Happy Few comes out that day as well.
I think Joey's getting that.
Which that one's been in early access on Xbox for a while.
Yes. And that's true. That made that is Xbox owned now.
Yes, that was one of the purchases.
It's being published
Compulsion.
by Gearbox. So.
Yeah, Compulsion Games is the developer. The 14th is Death's Gambit. Episode 1 of the final Walking Dead season from
That's
Telltale.
right. Again, I'll wait until all that comes out before I play that one.
Have you played any of it?
I've played almost all of the Telltale games.
But, okay, so... But you wait until the season's done to play it.
Yeah.
That's a good...
The only one I didn't do that for was Game of Thrones.
Right.
I played those as they
I'm
came
really
out.
bummed that there's not a season 2. I did like that one.
Yeah.
I have not played season 3 of The Walking Dead yet.
Okay.
I just recently finished 2.
I think I'm
Season
picking
two.
up the second season of Batman here tomorrow, I think.
I kind of get burnt out on Telltale.
I can't do
It's
them
all
in
the
rapid
same.
succession, just like the Lego games. Like, I'll play a Lego game and I'll be like, I cannot do this again. And then another one comes out with a franchise that I don't like. I'm like, okay.
Well, it's all the same. It's a machine at this point.
I mean, they do some good progression, like the Star Wars one that came out, The Force Awakens. That one brought some new gameplay elements to it. I'm like, okay, this is worth it.
That was cool.
Like cover shooting and stuff.
World of Warcraft's getting a new expansion.
No one cares.
Battle of Azeroth.
The same 3 people that buy the collector's editions will buy the collector's edition. This, it'll look the same.
Well, it is. The game is now subscription based for
You get
content.
everything.
Yep, except the new expansion.
Liars.
But I wonder if that changes once it releases. But as of now, you get all the content with your subscription.
That's weird, because wouldn't you just wait until it releases and then subscribe?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Who knows?
I wonder if there's an up that you get everything except the newest expansion. From here on out. But
Yeah.
I jumped into World of Warcraft just because I heard that it was that and you can play free up to level 20. And I have no idea what the fuck's going on. I have no idea how the fuck to play the game. There's 16 years worth of content and changes and like mechanics, and it shows.
Get with it, noob.
Yeah, like
How does it
it's,
look? Does it look like an old game?
Yeah.
I'm sure the textures and stuff are like good, but polygonally they're probably super not good.
2001. And you sit there and you go, yeah.
It's a Max Payne type.
And they've, updated things to make it better, which
Right.
makes you wonder.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's an old game. State of Mind. I don't know what that is. It literally says walking simulator.
It's with a guy sitting on a chair and it's like black, red, and white.
I don't know.
Oh, it's not a
There's not
picture.
even a Wikipedia article on it.
Okay.
The 21st is Shenmue 1 and 2. The remakes.
Okay.
We'll see. The 23rd, My Hero 1's Justice.
Oh, is that August?
That is August. This is why we're doing this.
That's a game I'm getting. It's a My Hero Academia thing.
Oh. 24th is F1 2018. And Little Dragon's Cafe. The 28th is Blade Strangers Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate for Switch. Pro Evolution Soccer 2019. Strange Brigade, Victor Vran Overkill, and Yakuza Kiwami 2.
You got my hopes up. My Hero isn't due until the 26th of October.
Well, then they...
Wikipedia lied to me.
Weird.
Yeah, I think I'm only getting really downloadable games. At least stuff that's new in August. Then September rolls around and it's fucking Spider-Man and...
Every fucking week. Dragon Quest IX. God Wars. NASCAR Heat 3. Game of the Year.
It has to be.
Game of the fucking year. Spider-Man. I mean, that's on the 7th. The 11th is NBA 2K19. The 14th is Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Which has gone gold.
Yeah. That's 2 months early.
That never happens.
That's weird.
I can see like 3 weeks at the most.
Yeah. Not 2 months. Weird.
I wonder how big the day one patch is.
Fucking huge. 21st is Spyro. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2 The Golden Country.
It's got Spider-Man.
23rd,
Spider-Man.
Paw Patrol. Also,
there we go.
Game of the Year.
Give me your runner-up.
Valkyria Chronicles 4.
I'm interested in that one.
Life is Strange 2, Episode 1.
That one I'm waiting till they're all out.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z for Switch. FIFA 19.
So not too much in August, but
October. Fuck everything.
We don't even have time for October.
Well, I mean, it's just the 2nd. You have Forza, Horizon 4, and Mega Man 11, and Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise.
I'm semi-interested in that one.
You played that at PSX, right? Or they had it there and you were like, I'm interested in that one.
Yeah. I think there were always people sitting
Right.
playing it.
The 5th is Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Super Mario Party.
I'm just interested in Mario Party.
9th is WWE 2K19.
I can't do another Assassin's Creed so soon.
No. The 12th is Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Oh, that's right. Call of Duty is early.
The 16th is Starlink, Battle for Atlas, and LEGO DC Supervillains. The 19th is Battlefield 5 and Soul Calibur 6.
Thinking about Battlefield.
Yeah. 23rd is Just Dance 19. 26th is Red Dead. And My Hero One's Justice. Same day. That they have it listed here. And the 30th, Call of Cthulhu, the official video game. They must have gotten licensing rights from him.
Yeah. And then Red Dead is October.
Yeah, that was the 26th.
Okay.
Red Dead 2. So fuck October.
October's gonna be bad. I have at least 2. Yeah.
I mean, there's something every week for somebody.
Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah.
Good, but bad.
Yeah.
I guess we should be hearing about PSX
Usually September.
soon. So
It'll probably be a Days Gone focus.
yeah, it has to be. Kingdom Hearts will probably be a focus as well.
Yeah.
So that's in January. Resident Evil 2 would be a big focus because that's January as well.
Mm-hmm. And we'll probably see something from Last of Us.
Oh yeah, they might do what they did with God of War last year with Last of Us. Like I said, they'll probably bring that church stuff over and show us the same fucking trailer there.
And if it is a summer release, that's when we'll find out. Because it'll be the last big media push for it.
June.
And I'm hoping it is. It worked well last time, do it again.
Maybe May. I wonder if they do it in May to get it out before E3. I don't know.
They're not opposed to putting their big games out. I mean, God of War was April.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really following a traditional release schedule anymore.
No, they don't care. Like, they know they know the quality.
That's when you know you have a lot of content to put out.
Yeah.
is that you're just like, this month is this month is this month is this. It's like, okay, slow the fuck down.
Right. I need to fucking breathe.
Yes. And this was the breath. Right now. Before Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That wasn't on the list. I didn't read that off, did I?
I don't think so. This should be September.
September
7th. It should be.
Oh, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, NASCAR and Spider-Man.
Okay.
Same day. Which, obviously, NASCAR is going to outsell it. Sorry.
I mean, at least in the South.
Rednecks.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the best. Sorry for anyone that listens in the South, but...
Get off my fucking podcast.
Why are you riding around in an oval track 500 times?
Taking a left turn.
No. Stop it.
Over and over and over again.
Stop it. At the most, 50. Even then, that's excessive. If you don't know a winner by then, give up. Like, why 500? Why?
I don't think they usually are all 500. I know the Indy races.
Right. Why? Excuse my ignorance with this NASCAR talk, but why?
Well, I gotta find this out. Because 500, holy shit.
You're learning with us. If anyone knows...
Daytona, okay, because I guess it's all based around 500 miles.
Okay.
And Daytona, which is the first race of every season, requires 200 laps to complete.
Why? Why is it 200 laps? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know.
3 laps. Do 3.
3 laps.
Do Mario Kart style. Hell, it's real world. Do 15.
15 laps.
15 laps. Okay. Do more of them throughout the year then. Fuck it. 200 laps?
200 laps.
Why? If you have to... The fact that you have to go to a pit stop and refuel... You're fucked up. How long does that take usually? Like, how long is that race?
How long is a NASCAR race? The average length of a NASCAR Sprint Cup race is 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Fuck all of you. It's nerve-wracking sitting through a whole baseball game. Was that like an hour?
No, 2 to 3. I mean, NASCAR on average is longer than baseball.
I don't do the sports, so I apologize.
Football game's about 3.5 hours.
Jesus Christ. No, thank you.
And what's great about that is technically the game clock from start to finish is 60 minutes.
Yeah, that's probably where I got that from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so, I mean,
minutes,
but it's all the stoppages and
halftime
commercials
show
and halftime and
how long is a football match?
soccer.
Yeah.
90. And
There we go.
And other than, they don't stop the clock.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the 15, 20 minutes for halftime.
Yeah.
And then any overtime. I mean, that's done fast.
Good on them.
But they're running the whole time.
Good on them.
Good on them.
That's the sport. I don't need to be sitting for 3 hours and watching Lady Gaga dance on stage in between grown men throwing a ball back and forth.
This was back in 2010. This says one race, the Coca-Cola 600, has exceeded 4 hours. But 5 races have taken at least 3 hours and 45 minutes to run.
You got me fucked up if I'm going to sit there for 4 hours.
And 10 of the first 24 races have taken at least 3.5 hours.
No. Just no.
Relief is coming to those who don't like to sit so long. 3 of the 36 races next year will be shorter, cutting down their race time to 2 hours.
Oh, how kind.
Phoenix will reduce its spring race from 600 kilometers back down to 500 kilometers after extending the length so it could finish under the lights.
Oh my fucking god. No. Nope.
And there's 26 races in a season.
No.
So NASCAR is not your thing, huh?
No. If I'm going to pick a sport to watch, it'll be soccer. Football.
I'm a big fan of soccer.
I mean, I played soccer when I was younger, so I actually know what's going on. I played baseball too, so I know how sports work. Like, I know how football and baseball, how the innings and outs and all that fun stuff. But 3 hours, man.
Watching people go around track.
Football, baseball, at least there's different stuff going on. Mm-hmm. Like, different things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
NASCAR, you're going around an oval, and some people are passing, some people aren't. Like, imagine the guy that is in last place in that fucking race.
The whole fucking race.
No. Couldn't do it. I don't know how anyone does it.
I don't know how you keep your attention span for that long doing that.
Right, unless there's some crazy Mad Max shit going on that track, I could not sit there for 3 hours. If this is a do or die race, hell yeah, I'll go to see that. Mm-hmm. I'll sit 3 hours through a gladiator style match, like a Mad Max style NASCAR. Fuck yeah.
Well, yeah.
Your life is on the line.
Death race.
Right. It'd be even worse not even being in last place, but getting to the last lap and you fucking die. No.
No.
That's been your NASCAR Minute. Here at the old Geek Gossip guys.
It's telling you why it's game of the year. Play a full race.
I wonder how those games play. Do they make you do that many races? They have to truncate it down. There's no fucking way.
Well, you play a full season. So you'll do all 26 races. Just like in a football game, you'll play all 16 games in a season.
Are they full timed?
Well, it depends. Mm-hmm. So, like in Madden, you can set the length of the quarters.
Okay.
They have even options that you can get a game in Madden down to 20 minutes. Or the standard play is 60 minutes a game. Mm-hmm. And that's not bad. Mm-hmm. 60 minutes a game.
Yeah.
NASCAR, I mean, you can set it, most people, I think the default is between 10 and 20 laps.
Okay.
For a NASCAR race. And even that's a lot.
That's a lot of laps.
Just doing it. Especially because, with AI and everything, any more than that, you're just going to be far and ahead.
Yeah.
It's not even going to be fun. I'm sure you can do a full-length game.
There's probably achievement.
I mean, FIFA doesn't even let you play a full game of soccer. They do not have an option on the game clock for 45-minute halves. I play on 6-minute halves. And that can even seem like a lot. So I could not imagine sitting down at a NASCAR game and saying, all right, let's do 200 laps in Daytona. Fuck that.
If I can't do it in real life, I will not do it in a video game.
The only way that you could possibly get me to even consider it is if it was in VR. Because then at least you're more immersed into it.
Oh my god, I couldn't even do that in VR. Any more than 3 laps in VR, I'd be, this needs to stop. Over? This needs to stop.
Have you heard of Desert Bus?
Oh yeah.
That's in VR now.
Good. That's hilarious.
8-hour drive.
That's just a funny circumstantial game.
Right.
Good on Penn and Teller for that game.
In the Desert Bus VR one, you can have your friends with you. Sitting in the bus with you.
I mean, at least you can fuck around. At least it's
there's stuff you can grab and throw around, and they can fuck with you. And
yeah, it's if you can't actually do a road trip with someone, that's the next best thing.
Do it in VR.
Yeah. I mean,
and then you get 6 hours in, and you crash.
Or your power goes out.
Oh my fucking god. Or your computer overheats from doing 6 hours of VR.
I mean, that game can be that demanding. It's demanding for VR, but
Right.
at least in terms of what you're rendering, it can't be that extensive.
You would hope.
Right.
You would fucking hope. I could not play it though.
I wonder if they actually generate a map long enough for that, or if it's just procedurally generating as
It's
you go.
gotta be like a loop.
Yeah.
It has to be.
I would like to see if it's not a loop, to zoom out how far it would be to see how big that is.
Because yeah. Oh my god.
You'd be just looking at a map.
Yeah. Essentially, just straight. There's no turns, there's nothing else.
It's just a straight fucking line.
Yeah. I couldn't do it. I could not play it.
Well, this has been Geek Gossip Podcast 69, endorsed by Desert Bus
And NASCAR.
and NASCAR. Eat your wieners.
New sponsor?
Yeah, Oscar Mayer.
NASCAR, goddamn it.
Okay. 2 weeks from now, we'll be back. Hopefully, something interesting happens.
Fingers crossed.
I'm gonna go see Mission Impossible.
Okay. I've not seen any of those.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go see Skyscraper probably.
Okay. That's with The Rock, right?
Yeah. Where he jumps into the flaming building
He has fake legs or something.
with his fake leg.
Good for him.
I guess he really did the jump, so I'm excited to see how it worked.
It's an athletic dude. I'm not surprised. But yeah, I recommend the Mission Impossible series. The first one's kind of rough, but 2 onward, great. Like, the first one was trying to be a James Bond, like, serious spy movie, and they realized we can't compete with it, so then it became
Let's just do our thing.
an action adventure, like, with Ethan Hunt as a spy working for the government.
So essentially like Saints Row. Try to beat GTA, then realize you're not, and do your own thing and be successful with that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
With a guy that is super weird in real life.
Fuck
But-
Tom Cruise.
Great actor.
Have you watched the Scientology thing on Netflix? With Louis Theroux?
No.
Louis Theroux, whatever it is. He does a bunch of like documentaries on like hard-hitting things, and he has an entire thing about with Scientology.
I'll have to look at it. I'll look it up.
He brings up Tom Cruise a lot. A lot.
Okay.
So, yeah. 6'9".
Send us your questions, concerns, topics you want us to cover. Use the old Amazon links. It helps us. Please. Please. Follow us on Twitter. Got an Instagram?
Oh boy. Getting up with the times.
Yeah. And a Facebook. The Twitter feed got like deactivated. Not because of content, but because it got classified as spam.
Oh my god.
So when they had that purge of like inactive accounts, because I don't actively go in there and post it manually, I have it once I post on the website, it posts to every social media. So it probably got tagged as like spam.
God damn it.
So I had to go through and like, I'm a real person.
It's okay, just set up a MySpace. We'll communicate that way.
Retro.
Retro.
If you want to be in my top 10, send me $5.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
The more money you send, the higher on the list you'll be. Might even get some nudes. Do it. This has been fun.
Christ.
I'll be back next time with episode 70. Hopefully with good Pokemon news.
Hopefully. Hopefully they figured their shit out.
Don't tell me to play your game. Bye.